Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Object 261. It's the Tier 10 Soviet SPG. It's located on the northeast spawn of Westfield, and this one is under the command of jumags. Game on. I think that could be jumags or... yes, jumags or something like that, yes. Don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. Not with all what's going on at the moment, no. So, jumags. He's in the Object 261. It's got an 18cm howitzer from a naval gun, and it's mounted on top of an IS-7 hull, and he's aiming towards the enemy. Now, Westfield, remember what it used to be like? Very open back then. Very few bushes, only a few here and there. T123. Leading the target, line it up, wait for him to walk into it, rounds out, this looks good. Splashed him for 224. Standard reload time for the Object 261 is 30.68 seconds. Because we're not using mods, I'm afraid I can't tell you what the exact reload time is for jumags, but he's going for the E3 again. He's almost loaded. Rounds out. Direct hit. 326, 2 critical hits, and he's pulling back to avoid counter battery. Now you can notice that jumags is actually, as he's aiming, he's actually having to scroll out, so he hasn't learned the technique of actually going directly to see the enemy straight away without doing that. And how you do that is you hold down your control key, which brings up your little cursor, and you move the cursor over the minimap, and when you move that cursor over the minimap, you right click on where on the minimap you want to look, and it takes the view there straight away. So all that scrolling can go away. You don't need to use it unless of course the target happens to be very close to where you're originally aiming. Then of course you can just scroll to get to the target much quicker. Okay, he's almost loaded, so he's going to go for the super conk. Get ready. Rounds out. Yep. A near miss. 300 hit points. Now this is 2 replays featuring the Object 261. And as usual, whilst we're doing these oldies but goldies, we're having a theme with each video. And I think you'll get what the theme is after a while. Rounds out. Hit the rear of the vehicle for 491 off that one. Now with the alpha being 900, if you got a direct hit and a penetration, the vehicle should do around about plus or minus 25% of 900 hit points. Since that was well below that, that would indicate that that was a high roll, no penetration. Rounds out in the super conk, and he moved forward just as he fired, so he only got some splash off that one. Now you don't get a whole lot of rounds with the Object 261, only 20, which is kind of unfair because the 212A has 30 rounds of 203mm ammunition, which is far more of a slightly smaller, slightly bigger caliber rather, slightly smaller. So you'd expect if it had slightly bigger caliber, it would have less space within the vehicle for them, and it wouldn't carry as many, but it actually carries 50% more. So maybe that's something that Wargaming needs to amend, to adjust. Increase the number of shells that 212A, or that the Object 261 has rather. Because especially in grand battles, it's very easy to run out of ammo in a grand battle in the Object 261. Ready to go again? Rounds out. Direct hit right on the engine deck for 343. 2 critical hits again. I've noticed something that he's doing which is slightly wrong, is he's actually still moving backwards and forwards on the same spot basically, so he's not moving very much further away from his original aim point. And the reason why he needs to be careful is the enemy Arty that's on the other side is a batch at 155.58. And he's got another hit, this time on the Oh-Ho. If you stay too close to the same spot every time, there's a fairly good chance that the enemy Arty might be able to work out where you're actually moving after your next shot. Okay, the Super Conqueror's turned up again. Rounds out. Direct hit, 381. Left him on only 7 hit points, and he's taken out the game with the next round. Unfortunately, we just lost our FE4202 as well. And the enemy is coming round the map at the bottom end. If you notice that, they are getting rather close. We're going for the lurver. Mr. Lurver. Call me Mr. Bombastic, not the fantastic. Direct hit! Right on his engine bay. Yes, I really ought not to sing. It's something every time I hear Klaus sing, I think, no, please don't. Oh dear. We're not very good singers, but we do have fun while we're playing our videos. This could kill the lurver. Rounds out. Oh, he dodged it like Neo. Yeah, it was like he was an extra from the Matrix. Oh, lurver's gone. Now, there's a number of enemy tanks down in the valley, but we're still paying attention to the heavies. That ST1 is very low on hit points, but he just got a kill. Rounds out. And he didn't get it, and he didn't stay to watch what actually happened with that shot. But now he is actually paying attention to the enemy. They did kill the ST1, by the way. He has gone. And we're 1 tank ahead of the enemy at the moment. They've got 5 left. 3 of them are in the valley, close to us. The Pershing we're watching right now, and the Batchat 155-55 is back at the enemy cap area. He fired that one a little behind the guy, but he's still damaged him. 379. I think he might have actually hit the guy with that shot as well. Okay, he's changed positions quite drastically. That Ferdinand up on the cliff, that looks a good shot. I could just see he's moved behind that house now because he knocked a wall down to get behind it. And they're 1 further down, so there's only 4 left. There's the Panther 88, the premium. He's coming this way, and he's very low on hit points, but he is coming in our direction. GMAG pulling back. Line him up, line him up, line him up. Yes! Nice hit! He's got 3 rounds left, and there's 3 enemies. Okay, there's nobody on the east side of the map to stop that Pershing. He's almost loaded. Last time he was seen, he was somewhere in that wood. All 3 last remaining rounds are premium rounds. Oh, he's fired blind! Oh, not a good move when there's 3 enemies left. Should have held on to that shell and waited till somebody was spotted, and the Ferdinand's been spotted. He could have gone after that guy instead. Okay, here we go. He's still down at the far end near that house. It's working against him that he's gone up the hill. I think he's trying to get away from the normal position where he would be located, just in case the Pershing comes towards him, which is the smart move. So he's decided he's going to go up the hill a bit further. Ferdinand's coming to sight again, and we just lost our Ferdinand to their Batchat. He's got no shot there. Our IS-7's moving in. And he's managed to get the kill on the Ferdinand which means now the last two remaining enemies are the Pershing and the Batchat 155-58. I thought it was a 55 actually. It's a Batchat 155-58. And back then I think it was a 4-shot autoloader. 155mm gun, but 4 shots and a short delay between each shell. I think back then it was a 4-second delay between each shell as they were cycling. Now it's a 10-second delay, and they made it only 3 shots because it was very powerful back then. Of course, the Object 261 and the Conqueror gun carriage are considered the most powerful tier 10 Artys, mostly because either the sheer damage they will do or the quickness of their reload. But of course back then the Batchat 155-58 was very powerful simply because it had an autoloader which could cycle the rounds fairly quickly. So if an enemy tank was hit by the 155-58, they might get permanently tracked as their hit points are stripped away. So the IS-7 is staying at the base of the village, whilst jumags is headed towards the enemy. He's not been spotted yet. The Pershing could be waiting somewhere near his own cap, but it's not worth firing, because if you do, you're going to waste another round. And you've only got 2 rounds left, there's only 2 enemies left. He could try and barrel on in and get that 155-58, but remember, if he's an autoloader, he could be hiding somewhere in those trees. And even if jumags gets 1 shot at the enemy, if he misses, the enemy's going to get 4 shots at him. No sign, no indication of where they are. Of course, we might expect that they'd be down in that little copse down below, in that little dip, because that's where they would spawn. Somewhere in that area. But again, they may be waiting for us to turn up so that they can spot us and then shoot. And they're capping. Well, oh, he knocked a tree down, which might tell the enemy where he was, but that's the 2-minute hooter. The IS-7 is moving. He's moving as well because he might not be able to get a shot. Oh, actually, no, he can get a shot on every part of that cap area. So as soon as the IS-7 spots where that enemy is, he'll put around there. There he is. He's actually by the house. Predictable place, and he's moved outside the cap because he saw the IS-7 approaching, and the enemy Arty started firing. Rounds out. Oh, he got a splash kill. He took out the Pershing, and that's 2 kills now for jumags, and he's happy about that. So he's now going to roll in and see if he can get the last enemy, the Batchat 155-58. This is where it could get hairy, because if he doesn't do it, he's only got 1 round left. It's a premium round, but only 1 round left to get the kill. Oh dear, we lost the IS-7. I didn't see that happen, but the IS-7 obviously got taken out by the Batchat 155-58. So he's got a top gun. He's got 6 kills. jumags has only got 2. Now, where are you? I think he's behind him. Behind you! This is a bit like a pantomime now, which I was saying, behind you! Oh! Now that's interesting. That means he's not behind him. He's actually somewhere else, because that enemy Arty, the bat chap, managed to put the round near the house. Oh, he spotted him and took him out. Let's see a replay of that. Didn't see that because I was watching externally. Let's have a look. Did he see the tracer? He was looking. Did he spot the tracer? There he is! Yes! Very well done by jumags. It was very close to being a draw, but it could have been a loss as well. Well, a fantastic first game, and that was definitely the last shell in his magazine, so I think he's just peeled off another medal. Let's have a look at the second replay. The second replay is on the north spawn of Cliff, and the name of the player is FullySik. What a name. Game on. Still with the Object 261. Now he's off into the bushes, I think alongside that FV3805. Although he's not going to go at the back, he's actually going to go towards the front. Okay, this should give him some cover. Oh, knocked a tree down. Is he going to go halfway up the cliff before he shoots? I think he's actually climbing the cliff. Something you can't do anymore, actually. You can't go to the Object 261 in quite the same way. Certainly not up that cliff. Well, that's quite novel. Okay, so he's gone to the TD position. And he's ready to go. First target, Object 260. Gets a direct hit for 425. Well, yes, knocking a tree down, cardinal sin if you're an Arty, because it actually does give away your position, but I think he's going to get away with it for the moment. It might give the enemy Arty an idea where you are if you've knocked a tree down, because the teammates might say, well, I was hit from that direction, and he'll look at the ground and might see the tree knocked over and say, oh, well, he must be behind that tree. He's tracked the T-34. And we're looking at an AT-15 coming up the hill slowly. Line him up. Rounds out. Yeah, that's a direct hit. In fact, there was two direct hits there because the FV3805 also hit him at the same time, and both of them are in platoon. In fact, there's three of them in platoon because they've got the Object 260 on their team as well. He's down by the donut at the moment. KV4 just got tracked. Go for the engine bay. Rounds out. Well, it landed directly behind him. And he has got some stun assist. And another direct hit from the FV3805. And the kill shot came in from the Object 260, so the platoon worked very efficiently there because they all managed to collude together to actually get that kill. Okay, M46 rounds out, tracks him, or no, just damaged him. Now it looks like that M46 pattern has gone down the dip. There used to be a little dip there where you could go down and hide. Wasn't much tactical use other than hiding from the enemy. There is a spot that's tactically useful though. Is that the place where that Rheinmetall Panzerwagen has gone, because you could actually hide there and spot on the enemy by popping out every now and then to see where they were. Okay, we're going for the pattern. Difficult shot. He has to let it dial in, otherwise it'll miss and go into the water. Rounds out. Landed short. Because he was firing onto a ridgeline there. Both FV3805 and the Object 261 both aimed for the same target, and they both had the same problem. Our 260 is backing away from the VK because he's lost most of his hit points. Oh, and the Rheinmetall Panther wagon just blows apart our T28 prototype. Is he going to go for the 260 now? Well, it splashes him. He's getting rather close as well. That Object 260 there is very low on health. He could be taken out with a near miss. Now guys are pulling away, which means we've lost sight of that 260. But he's just sitting on that corner. There's the pattern again. Trying to fire into the dip, and like he had with the previous problem, it's not easy. Going for the 260. He can get this. Rounds out. Yes, he did. Oh, he got a bombardier. He took out the T34 and the 260 with one shot, but he had to pull down the cliff edge because he got hit. He was seen, and yeah, he has to get away, otherwise the enemy Arty, yeah, there you go. M53, M55 fires his first round in and does some track damage. But he has to pull back because there's another RT on the enemy team, and that happens to be an Object 261 just like him. And he doesn't want to get hit by that either. It's bad enough getting hit by the M53, M55. Okay, he's aiming for the UDES and the Object 704. We can't see them at the moment, they're too far away, but he can see this Panther wagon. And rounds out nearby, but it's... Oh, the kill shot goes to the FB3805. Nice one. He's only a short distance behind us, or beside us, I should say. But he managed to get the kill. Now, Arty shouldn't ever fire from the same position because it's much easier to see two tracers than it is to see one. And if you do fire together, chances are both of you could get taken out, and it might be another bombardier. Okay, so FullySik, 2 kills so far. Bombardier, T34 and 260, and well, the Object 260, I'm afraid, on our team did get taken out, so we've lost one of our platoon members and lost the chance to get a Brotherson on. We're loaded, but we're looking for a target. Okay, the AC-48 French tank destroyer. It's a difficult shot because he's over the other side of the centre line. Got a red line at the moment. He's in a kind of Arty safe position, but no, that didn't hurt him. The Arty are telling everyone, spot for us. Tell us where they are so we can get hits on them. Well, that's what they're saying, just spot, spot. But it's so true. It's true today as it ever was. If your teammates don't spot for you, you can't get them the assist that they want. That was the FV3805. Rounds out. Kill shot. So that's 3 kills now. That 704's one shot as well. There's only 4 enemies left. 2 RT, 2 tank destroyers. He's got 6 rounds left to do it. We can't get a shot on the third man at the moment because he's the other side of the donut. But we probably will be able to get around into the 704 if we can spot him. He's firing blind. Hits the rock face. We lost the T30 to the Object 261 on the enemy team. But their Ferdinand is in sight of our AMX 13105. So he might be able to get a couple of rounds into that guy. And we're almost ready to have another shot. Oh, now that was the FB3805. Come on, AMX 13105. Show us where he is. One more standard round. Rounds out. Direct hit, 153. The AMX 1390 gets the kill. Oh, it's the AMX 13105. Sorry, gets the kill. And now there's only 3 enemies left. And FullySik has got 4 rounds. So he's gone back to the 704. He's on premium rounds now. Conqueror's saying, go, kill Arty. They're saying, actually, he means go and kill the enemy Arty, not his own ones. And the 704's coming to sight, and he's very low on hit points. Here we go. Line up the shot. Work out where to put the shell. Rounds out. Oh, it landed short. Now, the FV3805 has gone down into the dip. I suppose that's for safety's sake. But FullySik decided he wants to get a bit of cover, so he's moved back into the bushes. The enemy 704 has been taken out by the Oho. One of the enemies on the move. It's the M53, M55. He's not loaded yet. Fires in. Snap. Doesn't get anything. It's more by guess, and I think the M53, M55 had driven past that spot. He's got 2 rounds left, and there's 2 enemies out there. He's decided to do what the FB3805 has done and move towards the enemy. All we've got is the Oho to spot for us, and the and also the AT-15. The AT-15 is still back at our cap area, and I think he's AFK. Oh, the M53, M55 coming towards our FB3805, and there's the 261. So he's going for the 261 first. Lining him up, but he doesn't shoot. The guy knocks the tree over. We'll say cardinal sin, he knocked a tree over, and sort of indicated where he was going. He could still be behind that tree as well. But since FullySik has only got 2 rounds left, he really can't take the chance of firing at that spot just to see if the guy's still there. So the Oho's going to have a look. He's moving into position so he can get the shots. He did move. We're lining up. Dialing in. Rounds out. Direct hit. A big hit. 369. The enemy M53, M55 gets blown away by our FB3805, leaving just the 261. He's got 1 round left. You can do it. Just get in position. Wait for the Oho to spot him. He should be behind those houses. There he is. Oh, he's fired and killed the Oho. But we fired. Get the kill. That wins the game. And he's happy about that. He's doing his victory dance. Here's the end of battle results, and for jumags in the Object 261 on Westfield, he managed to get a 3rd class tanker in that game. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 13. A Gauze medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And yes, he did get a Faden's medal because he saw where the Batchat 155-58 was firing from right at the end of the game and managed to put a round into that guy and take him out and win the game at that spot whilst he was capping. If he hadn't missed him, then I think the batch at 155.58 would have found him instead with one of his subsequent rounds. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game because that went to the Jaeger on his team with 4,799 hit points, but he did get the second highest damage with 4,151. Third highest damage went to the T54 on the enemy team with 3,888. When it came to kills, it was the IS-7 who got the top with 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Object 261 and the Panther, and then 2 kills to the T54 on his own team, the ST1 on the enemy team, and their M26 Pershing. When it came to base XP, it was the Jaeger who did the best with 886, 854 went to the IS-7, 811 went to the M41 Walker Bulldog, and then it was 799 to jumags in his Object 261. He fired 18 rounds in that game, all 18 rounds, got 10 direct hits, 10 penetrations. Remember what I said before in previous videos? It was very difficult to, it's very difficult to get penetrations nowadays, but back then it was very easy. Wargaming has been silently nerfing Arty by making it very difficult to get penetrating shots. And so this is a clear indication that Wargaming has been nerfing Arty all along the time by increasing the thickness and also deciding that most shots do not penetrate. In fact, some shots nowadays don't even penetrate and don't even do any damage or stun at all. 8 splashes on the enemy as well. 4,151 hit points of damage, all of it done at more than 300 meters. He damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3, did 421 hit points of stun assist of 14 stuns, and he managed to get 54 capture points in the cap. On a premium count, he earned 55,061 credits, and after ammunition resupply, took away 18,161 credits. He got 1,199 XP, and there was no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. So a very, very good game, because right at the end, it almost looked like they were going to get a draw, or that they were going to win, because obviously the Arty wasn't where he was supposed to be. He wasn't in the cops. He'd actually gone up to the east side of the map, and came back to try and get the resets, but jumags had the wisdom to actually move away from the usual spot where people park, which is behind the building, and he wasn't there when the enemy Arty rounds came in. 2 of those shells missed, but the moment he fired, he actually did give away his position, but luckily his shot hit the back chat, took him out of the game, and saved him from getting hit by that 3rd round or the 4th round. So that was a good win for jumags. Let's have a look at the second replay. That was FullySik in the Object 261 on Cliff. He got a 2nd class tanker in this game. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 16. A fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. And he also got a Fadens medal. Yes, a common theme in this game is the Fadens. For killing the last enemy with the last round in your magazine. He also got a bombardier in that game. He took out the T-34 and the Object 260 on the enemy team with 1 shot. If we look at the team score, we can see that he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Object 260 on the enemy team, 3,859, the one that he killed. The other one was the Object 260 on our team, 3,566, and then he got the 3rd highest damage with 2,966 hit points. He did get the highest number of kills because he got 4. 3 kills went to the T-30 and the Object 261 on the enemy team, and then there's a bunch of tanks with 2 kills, including his platoon mate, Panther Hunter 33, who was very useful in the game. He did get lots of damage on the enemy. When it came to base XP, it was the FV3805 who did the best. Panther Hunter, yes, he was collecting the hit points, killing off the enemies, hitting higher tier opponents, and he got 945 base experience points. 889 went to FullySik, and 840 went to the Object 260, who was the other platoon mate in their team. So they had a very successful platoon. They had 7 kills between them, and a lot of damage. You look at that, that's, well, at least 7,000, I think it's 8,000 hit points of damage between them in the platoon. FullySik fired 18 rounds, all 18, got 7 direct hits, 7 penetrations. Yet again, it proves what I've been saying. You used to get penetrations virtually every shot back then. Nowadays, it's virtually impossible to get them, and even if you get a direct hit on the enemy, you're not guaranteed to do any damage. 12 splash on the enemy as well. 2,966 hit points, of which 2,825 were up more than 300 meters. He received one hit. It was a penetration. That actually came when he was up on that little hill and the sniper position. He got spotted after he killed did the bombardier and had to pull back quickly to avoid any further damage. He also received one hit by way of splash damage because the enemy Arty, the M53, saw where he was and put a round in. Very close, but not close enough to actually do much damage. 10 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, 1,745 hit points of stun assist or 14 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he earned 36,066 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, and yes, he did fire quite a few premium rounds, he ended up with a loss of 41,180 credits from the game. 889 base XP, no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away, but it was an interesting battle. It was a long battle. It was coming down to the wire, and it was a lovely little shot. Just after that guy had killed our teammate and taken him out of the game, he then returned the favour and took out the last enemy to win the game with his last shot. And I think he was rather pleased at that point. So I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.